Hello, everyone. Welcome to the 5 a.m. room. And on this morning, we're going to be discussing about how to develop a good mindset. Now, have you ever looked at somebody before and you feel that very, very good at something? Have you ever looked at somebody, maybe a person playing a musical instrument, or somebody speaking, or somebody creating content, or somebody doing something extraordinary, and you feel that they're just good at this thing, and you tell yourself that you can't even do it? Sometimes people tell themselves that they can't do something even before they try. And this is where growth mindset comes in. But before we dive into how to develop a growth mindset, let's quickly talk about what is a growth mindset. A growth mindset is simply believing that you can improve and you can become better at something. A growth mindset simply means that you can improve and become better at doing something. That doesn't mean that you have to, because you are bad at something today, it means that you're bad at that thing tomorrow. No. You can start learning a musical instrument today and then you can become better as time goes on. But there are factors and things that you need to do for you to become better. First thing is that you need to learn, you need to improve, you need to practice, and you need to have self-confidence in yourself that you can become better at that thing. Are you getting me? So now let's quickly dive into how to develop a good mindset. Number one thing is this: stop saying that you can't. Stop saying that you can't. Most people stop themselves even before they start. Most people discourage themselves even before they start. You want to learn musical instrument, you want to learn how to drive, you want to learn how to create content. I've spoken to a lot of students. I have a lot of students around me that I've trained, and most of them, when they come, you can see that self-doubt from the initial stage that they can't do it. Oh, they can't really create content, they can't become better. But then at the same time, you see some people that they're not that good, but they believe that they can become better. And they actually become better because of that growth mindset. They learn, they adjust, they become better, and they develop that skills, and they become better than the people that even feel that they can do better if they only believe in themselves. So stop telling yourself that you can't. Are you getting me? Number two ways of developing a growth mindset is don't be afraid of mistake. A lot of people are afraid of trying things. They are afraid of what people will see. They are afraid of the mistakes that they have not even made. One of the things that makes you a better person is the amount of mistakes that you have made and the amount of lessons you have learned from that mistake and keep moving forward. I keep saying that mistakes makes you a better person. Not just staying in the mistake, learning from that mistake can actually make you grow better. Now, let me wait to what I wrote here. I said a lot of people are afraid to try things because they don't want to look stupid. But think about it. How many things did you learn without mistakes? A lot of people are afraid of learning new things because they feel they don't want to make mistake. They don't want to look stupid. But let's think about it. How many things did you learn without making mistakes? Literally everything that you've learned, you made mistakes at one thing or the other. So the fear of mistakes should not stop you from having a good mindset. Now, number three way of developing a good mindset is stop comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle. Stop comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle. I'll say that again. Stop comparing your beginning to somebody else's middle. I keep saying that everybody has different timeline. Everybody has different journey. Somebody might be at number 5 in their journey. Somebody might be at number 1 in their journey. Somebody might be in number 10 in their journey. The problem is that a lot of people start comparing themselves with other people's journey or other people's timeline. I said it in my previous video that some people might just be running their last track on this earth, while some people might just be beginning their own first track, while some people might just be in the middle. Imagine you competing with somebody who just running their last track and you're just starting out in the middle. How bad can that be? So that can actually stop you from developing a good mindset. Now, let me read what I wrote here. I said, this is specifically important today because of social media. You see somebody else's finished work and you start wondering why your own does not look like their own. Social media has created comparison between people. You see somebody else's progress online and you start comparing with your own. Sometimes, let me tell you the truth, sometimes your level of growth or level of progress might be more than what that person is showing you on social media. That is why it's very dangerous to start competing yourself or comparing results based on what you see on social media. Let me give you a backstory. Somebody was posting certain things online in this film industry and every other thing. And then we eventually got to meet the person, and I realized the person did not even have all these things I mentioned. Imagine if I started comparing myself with that person. Imagine if I started comparing myself with that person. So stop comparing yourself with somebody else's beginning, or stop comparing yourself with what you see like you feel is a finished work. Sometimes it might not be finished work, sometimes it might just be packaging, sometimes it might just be social media. Like I said earlier, people only post what they want you to see. They don't post what they don't want you to see. People allow you to see what they want you to see. That's why it's very important that you don't come to a conclusion when you see somebody's social media profiles. Yes, it's sometimes very, very dangerous. It's sometimes very, very dangerous. Now, number 4 ways of developing a good mindset is be willing to learn. Many young people don't want to learn. They are okay. They feel that they know everything. But one way of developing a good mindset is opening yourself to learning, constant learning. In fact, a man that stops learning begins to decay or begins to die. A man that stops learning begins to die or begins to decay. So you must always open yourself to constant learning, which will allow you develop a good mindset. Let me tell you something. Every great person that you see outside there or you see doing great things today are always open to constant learning, regardless of whosoever you are, regardless of your age. You might even be somebody that you have even trained, teaching you something. Are you getting me? If you look at all these successful people in different industries, one thing you notice about them is that they are always willing to learn. You might see an Intel come and do an internship, like come to a company that, and then is teaching the CEO, and the CEO is sitting down there looking, is learning. Because let me tell you something, there are actually 1 or 2 things that we can learn from each and every one of us. Yes. So always open yourself to constant learning. And lastly, one way of developing a great mindset is start celebrating small progress. Start celebrating small progress. Let me tell you something. Don't let people make you feel that your progress is nothing. Don't make people feel that your progress is nothing. Don't ignore small wins. Do you know that the place that you are right now was once a prayer point in your life? The place you are right now was once a dream, was once something that you dreamt of, was something that you prayed for. But you're letting people feel that your own win is small. So don't let people make your win small. Always learn to celebrate small progress. Sometimes we only celebrate big achievements, but we ignore the small wins. Maybe you are afraid of speaking to people before, but now you can speak to 5 people. Maybe you could not edit a video, but now you can. Maybe you could not wake up early, but now you are becoming consistent. That is progress. You need to celebrate every little win in your life. Now let me say these things again. The place that you are right now was once a prayer point. The place that you are right now was something that you dreamt of, was something that you desire. But because you have gotten it, you feel it's nothing. Do you know that there are things that you do right now in your life that back a few years ago, you never thought that you could do that kind of things? So you need to learn how to celebrate little wins, because they're not actually little wins. When you accumulate little wins together, one day it will become a great achievement. So don't let people feel that your small win is useless or is nothing. Always learn to celebrate your small win. And again, let me give you one more point before we end this 5 a.m. room, is that surround yourself with people who encourage your growth. Some of you surround yourself with people who are not going anywhere. Always learn to surround yourself with people who wants to go, who desire to become a better person. That way, you will have a growth mindset. Have you ever found yourself in a cycle whereby these people are talking about so many things, great things, and it begins to influence your life? That is the power of cycle. So learn to stay around people who can encourage you grow. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'll see you tomorrow on the 5 a.m. room.